Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In my previous video, we just completed the section 8 question number 1, and now we're going to move towards the section 8 question number 2, which is the language style question. We'll try our best to solve this 4 questions and get our answers. We have the insert within us here. Okay, so read the sentence from the text. Unexpectedly, the weather suddenly calmed. The morning sun lit up the water as we waded in the heat on our bare backs. What does the writer want to suggest to the reader about swim at this point? Okay, so to me, because I've read the entire insert, it feels that it wants to suggest the reader that the the weather was not expected. Chika has suddenly changed. Chika had changed not as expected. ठीक है एंड इट वॉज नॉट एज इट वॉज प्रीवियसली क्या था हमारे पास प्रीवियसली ये चीज़ आ रही थी खबर आ रही थी दैट हमारे पास के वेयर इट इज़ रिटन ठीक है इफ़ नॉट यूज कंडीशंस लाइक दैट थॉट वाज वेदर फोरकास्ट द विंड्स like the winds nearing the gale force and seas 2 meters high जो हमारे पास थी वो नहीं होगी so this was the problem. Explain why the writer uses the word paused rather than stopped in the phrase we paused in the middle of the rush of bodies. ठीक है. Why does it use paused here, not stopped here? Which is like line number 48. Okay, we don't need to see it or we can just actually read it out. Okay. We paused in the middle of the rush of bodies. ठीक है stopped is probably हम बोल सकते हैं कि stopped is probably used to actually mostly used for non-living things or it is a not appropriate word but paused shows that it actually has that one ठीक है paused का मतलब show okay so we got an idea कि paused by paused it tells us that they were stopped ठीक है मतलब they were actually standing on one position but they were moving ठीक है their hands stopped which means stopped का मतलब ये हो जाता है कि भाई they are like completely stopped they are like not moving their hands are not moving so they just actually were paused so this could be an answer as well. What two impressions does the writer want to convey to the reader in this sentence? Splashes of water erupted in all directions. Then we slumped forward, went under, and pulled ourselves through the swirling green, white veil of bubbles. What two impressions? It wants to tell कि probably it wants to tell जो हमारे पास जो समंदर था ये the water was like probably is trying to tell कि जो water था it was kind of okay so let's just leave it right now. Read the sentence from the text. We're here only once, disappearing recklessly into the swimming mass. What effect does the reader suggest about the swimmers by using the phrase swimming mass to describe them? Okay, so it's probably telling कि it's telling कि effect does the writer suggest कि it's probably indicating to there was a lot of people or a lot of swimmers जो थे वो चल रहे थे and the Ed moved between them or he just disappeared between them so this is probably Chike was lost between them so probably is describing to this and after that what two impressions does the writer want to convey to the reader in the sentence? We could read the sentence and get the idea. Splashes of water erupted in all directions, and then we slumped. Okay, a fever swept across the joint. A little cheers. Okay, it's probably telling that the water was quite water was filled with a lot of people, and it's probably indicating that it was quiet. It's probably uh, telling that it was quiet out there, or it was a moment of tension out there. It was a moment of um what way, there's a word used here, the con, everything was muted. Okay, things, probably the things were muted, people, okay, the muted, and probably it's indicating to the impression of water, which means ki the water was all across the direction, or all across the displacements or the way. So yeah, so that was about the question number 2. You can solve it like that, and the more you practice the question number 2, the more you get it, because the practice makes perfect man perfect. And apart from that, the question 2 is actually very difficult. So for us, it is very important to get into this, but we have E part as well. Okay, identify one example how the writer uses language effectively to convey match feeling there for the next 4 hours. This is okay question. For the next hour, half hour, slow waves rocked us on, we rose and we sank. A contempt pod of swimmers. The seabed disappeared quickly, but the sun still stretched it. Okay, so we don't want this anymore. We just want this thing. Still stretched is across. Okay. Okay. Explain the empirical creates an example you have identified. Okay, so we just need to take one example, and we just need to explain that. So example अगर हम ले लेते हैं तो the seabed. Okay, identify one example of how writer uses language effectively to convey match feeling in this extract. So he was probably so this could be used. Finally, I left my trail basking in the warm washing over me. So this could be used. इसमें ये बोला है कि even after ठीक है after the long journey, or after the long process of swimming, or after swimming by a lot of time, ठीक है, he an actual felt relief, a bit of relief. ठीक है, he felt a bit of relief here. ठीक है, यहाँ पे वो फीलिंग क्या थी, ठीक है, he felt a bit of relief. ठीक है, because the basking in the warmth washing over me. So basking is something we don't know what it is. We can search right now. Okay, so I had guessed it already, but okay, it was fine. Here it says कि भाई he got just a relief. ठीक है, क्यों he got a relief? Because he finally came into the light. ठीक है, he finally got ठीक है, because he was a lot of, like, most of the time he was in the water. When he came out, he just kind of get into the warmth, or ठीक है, he just got heat up, so which ठीक है over me until we floated onto the glassy water shielded by the harbor. ठीक है, so until he was going through that, he felt the relief. So that could be used as an examplation, and that's how the writer used language effectively. You could use other examples here as well. There are other examples with the sun stretches or not even. Okay, so this is how you can use any example from this paragraph. So yeah, that was about it. We have the section 2. Up to 10 marks are available. So we have like 150 words ki summary. You stop covering long section of the text. Imagine you are considered. So this is